Yo, yo, ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Welcome in. We got some big news tonight regarding Russia, Ukraine, possible ceasefire. Putin wants to talk to Trump. We'll have to take a look at it. They say that this is 1/5 of Ukraine they're taking. I guess they're including Crimea. It never looks like 1/5. It looks like maybe 1/7. Hmm. Trump's been talking about Canada, Greenland again. Talking about annexing both of them. What's up? Looks like 1/8. I was gonna say 1/7. I mean, if you include Crimea, you could argue because I mean, they already took Crimea though. I don't even count Crimea in this. I thought that it's just Russian at this point. Considering buying another $1,000 worth of Shiba Inu, I would avoid Shiba. Shiba is really high in market cap. I mean, it's your money though, and I don't want to tell you what to do. This is just sad. All the conservative influencers are fighting each other over some BS in the Middle East. Well, it's all this Israel stuff, man. This Israel stuff went mainstream like last week, and so it's just a total shit show. They just call Trump an Israeli asset, and it's the like that Elon Musk tweet today. That's gonna go big. I'm sure. I just saw it like a few minutes ago, but it's probably gonna be a huge story. Trump is in bed with Israel. I'd like to see Trump just tell Israel to fuck off. Then what would they grift about? I don't know. They find something else to get angry about. The Canada talk with the whole annexation stuff starting to get diluted from Trump, no lie. Well, he is constantly talking about it. I mean, Canada, it doesn't make any sense. I still don't know why no one's asked Trump. You realize the amount of liberal voters you're bringing in if they become a state. So it just doesn't make any sense. Greenland is a lot more realistic. And I mean, he was talking about randomly just Denmark, and here we'll play some of this in a little bit. I like to get into it with the streams where I'll talk for about 10-15 minutes. We'll show some clips and things like that. Did I see the Premier Ford? Oh, he had the meeting today? Yeah, it is Thursday. How did that meeting go? Did they talk about I'm going to have to look at that news. Did you see him 2 days ago? He's like crying. He's like teary-eyed. Somebody basically slapped him on the wrist and said, "Our economy's going to die if you keep doing this." I mean, it's like a horse and pony show with him. He's trying like, "Oh, we're going to shut all the power off in major Republican cities." What are you talking about? You're threatening our cities? You realize we're way stronger than you? A lot of crazy shit Ukraine could do on their way to suddenly reignite massive chaos. I know, but what is the incentive for Ukraine? They barely have American support right now. If they were the aggressors, they would lose American support. They have to be on their best behavior. Ukraine does. Today, Ford is mumbling about how the civil conversation was and how it was the best meeting ever. Total NPC stuff. He's a robot. So they're basically not saying anything about actual negotiations on a trade deal. They were probably told not to say anything to the public about it. Nothing happened. Kept saying the meeting went very well, very productive. No changes to tariffs. Second meeting soon. Yeah. So that meeting was a whole lot to do about nothing. It's a pipe dream, but you think the success of a conquest would offset liberal rage to call it a mistake and it'd get him votes? What, a conquest of Canada? I mean, it wouldn't even be a conquest. There's There's no way you would send any military in Canada. But I mean, I know what you're saying just in terms of acquiring it. Like, let's just see what Trump has just been. He's going, this is about Greenland. I mean, Greenland makes sense. I've backed Trump on taking Greenland. I think it'd be very good for a number of reasons. It's just, liberals have no backbone, so they don't want to ruffle any feathers throughout the world. But Trump's like, yeah, I think we kind of need to do this.
And Denmark is not able to do that. You know, Denmark's very far away and really has nothing to do. What happens? A boat landed there 200 years ago or something, and they say they have rights to it. I don't know if that's true. I don't think it is, actually. But we've been dealing with Denmark. We've been dealing with Greenland, and we have to do it. We really need it for national security. I think that's why NATO might have to get involved in a way, because we really need Greenland for national security. It's very important. You know, we have a couple of bases on Greenland already, and we have quite a few soldiers, and maybe you'll see more and more soldiers go there. I don't know. What do you think about that, Pete? So, don't answer that, Pete. Don't answer that. But we have bases, and we have quite a few soldiers on Greenland.
Right. Well, maybe NATO can help facilitate the United States annexing it, if that's what he's saying. You don't support a merged economy for the US and Canada. It destroyed the EU by uniting Europe under one economy, and skeptical about North American Union. Yeah, no, I don't want it either. That was a Kevin O'Leary thing. I don't want that either. I don't like the idea. But honestly, when you look at Canada's economy, it would really be like a drop in the bucket when you add it to the United States. It wouldn't be crazy. It wouldn't be any type of crazy increase. Because they're like, I mean, they're like California, basically. At least in terms of population. Do you think the Tampa Bay Rays owner is going to sell the stadium deal? Yeah, they have to. That's got to be the... I mean, this has got to be the last straw. This has got to be it. They have got to go to Nashville, Orlando, one of those places. They're going to be gone. Thoughts on the CR bill? Well, they're voting for it now. Apparently, Democrats were worried if there was a shutdown, it would give Trump total reign of doing certain things within the government, because all the employees would not be there, or all the officials would not be there. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just what I heard. But I mean, it's the exact same thing that was voted on in December. Why would they vote against it now? I think it's like, well, you're just posturing. There's like a few things that got changed maybe, but no, I mean, that's why Massey didn't like it, because it's like Biden's bill. Sounds like Ludnick spanked the Canadians at the tariff meeting today. Premier Doug Ford said it was the best meeting he has ever had. Are you serious? He said that is the best meeting he's had in his life. Yeah, that sounds like he got pussy whipped. Rays need to fix their stadium issues. I mean, what's the point? It's a shitty stadium. It's a waste of money even fixing it. They should just move out. But they're going to have to probably fix it for like a 2-year stopgap. Cooper Flag got injured. Yeah, I saw that. Is he out for a while? Nick Sorter got swatted. There's been a lot of people that have gotten swatted. That's not good. Not good at all. If Shiba is not a good investment, what are your thoughts on XRP? Is there a coin or token that you would recommend? Yeah, I mean, I could recommend coins, but I don't want to really hold the responsibility if you buy. I mean, I think MOG and SPX 6900 are better investments. I think they're going to do better this bull run. They're lower, like they're way lower in market cap than either Shiba or XRP. I mean, they are meme coins, but so is Shiba. He did say that. That's a funny quote, man. That's pussy whipped. Zelensky says Putin is preparing to reject the ceasefire proposal, but is scared to say this directly to Trump. I mean, I don't even know if this is true from this BRICS News bullshit. That's just, I mean, like, this is the type of stuff we get from X, though. You should find the clip. Was he crying again?
Commerce Secretary Lutnick at his word when he says something
very low.
different to his American audience when he appears on Fox News. Once again, he mocked Canada, he mocked you, he said that Donald Trump taught you a lesson.
Did she just say he mocked Canada, he mocked you?
And that's why you back down. How do you deal with that type of tone when it's coming from the U.S.?
Well, I can't comment on Secretary Lutnick, what he says. All I know, first time we had an opportunity to sit right across from the table from him, look him square in the eyes, and had a great conversation. It was very positive. That's what I can tell you. It was very, very positive on both sides of the...
That's really low quality. That's low audio. I'm sorry about that. Did you see Sam Cedar get owned on Jubilee? Yeah, I mean, I saw the clips of it. I didn't watch the full thing, but I saw the clips. The problem is when you're an atheist, you've got to be able to explain, you know, your worldview and why you hold certain things. Like, what is your societal standard? He should have came in terms of explaining that better, because that's a very easy thing that Christians can do to people that are non-religious. It's like, well, it's based on what it's based on a whim, and so it's easy to explain away or argue against when somebody says that. He didn't seem like he had very good arguments against that. And then the girl, I mean, the whole thing with the melting pot, people are starting to realize the melting pot is total bullshit. I mean, this country was founded, the United States, white, European, Protestant Christians. That's as simple as it can go. It was 90% white until 1960. There's no way that's a melting pot. The country was a superpower. We were the most powerful country. We were more powerful in like 1950 than we are today because other countries were a lot weaker after World War II and we didn't lose as many troops. So like, but they can't even respond to the melting pot thing because it just doesn't make any sense. It's just not true. Do you think Michael Obama will run in 2028? No. No, I don't. I mean... It seems like it already passed for Big Mike. Building strip clubs, building stadiums. Come on. Dude, I love a good stadium. You should look at the Commander Stadium renderings. That's a good looking stadium. That's a nice... We should have a crown jewel stadium that's just beautiful and have like a massive political rally. That's what I think. Just have like a massive 70,000 capacity attended rally. Did you see the Trump Tower takeover? No, I didn't. I'm assuming that's protesters went to Trump Tower or something. The US was half the entire world's GDP in the 50s. I know. It is insane, because I remember when I was researching stuff on World War II, the amount of dominance, global dominance we had after World War II. And again, you're talking about the Soviet Union losing I mean, but we gave the Soviet Union, like, we spent the most out of any country in World War II, believe it or not, through lend and lease to the Soviet Union and Great Britain. Yeah, Neil, it was a little bit different back then, wasn't it? The context of that was different. That's another thing that you can argue about when the Founding Fathers drafted that. Just interpreting that in terms of modern, in the modern sense, is crazy. World Cup is going to be awkward. What with other countries having animosity against Trump and Trump being the center stage. I mean, the World Cup will definitely be a big thing, especially in the United States with Trump now in office. There's going to be a lot of nationalism, a lot of people. I mean, we're not going to win, but it'll be something to watch. That's like in a year, I guess, or maybe the summer of 2026, so a little over a year. Have you ever gotten in an argument with a teacher at school about politics? Not really. Dude, I watched an argument. Probably the most cringy thing in my high school career was watching an argument between this Republican, like one of my fellow students and a teacher. It was, and the woman. This is a woman that I had her when Trump won. So it was the 2016 2017 school year, and this woman was a clear feminist. She's like language arts teacher, and so I did a video on this a while back in one of the DG stories, but she didn't. I think it was the day after she didn't show up to school, and then she went to the Women's March. She took, I think, 3 days off of school to go to the Women's March. But let me tell you something. It was a feminist argument or whatever. We were all sitting there. It was so awkward. And the dude is just, the kid, I mean, I don't know what happened to him. But he's just arguing with this feminist teacher. I mean, this was our teacher. And it was so bad. The argument, it took the entire class. The only thing that allowed us to get up was the bell. It wasn't like they wrapped up their argument. Like, the argument was still going. And then the bell was, and the teacher was so angry because people were trying to, I guess, film it and put it on Snapchat. And, yeah, that was a crazy thing. But no, I've never really gotten into an argument with a teacher about politics. John Fetterman turning Republican. Don't buy his grift. Don't buy any of that bullshit. I'll tell you what, Republicans, it's hook, line, and sinker. It's a Stephen A. Smith bullshit. It's Newsom. You know, these, oh, we actually have Republican point of views on these issues. We're like, you get, no, dude, stop. All of these people would not be saying any of this if Trump would have lost. They would say Trump's a felon, he should go to jail, he's a loser. Any of these Democrats, not worth it. Did you see any indoctrination by your teacher's school? No. No. I mean, there was one teacher that hated Fox News and but there really wasn't anything like that. And in my district, I mean, my district in specific is a bit more conservative, I would say. Maybe like 65-35 conservative. How do you get around permabanned account on Reddit? You just use another account. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what happened with Trump Tower. Is it worth going to? This seems like a video from like 2017. They always used to go to Trump's Tower in 2017. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever, man. You know, Trump doing that, that administration is very pro-Zionist, so, I mean, the dude was not a legal citizen. They just kicked him out. I'm not saying it's a great thing, but... Hope Newsom's podcast doesn't fool too many people. Well, he's definitely being very bashful with, I mean, Charlie Kirk having him on. And Charlie Kirk did have a write-up, and he basically said that, yeah, Newsom is obsessed with running for president. He wants to do it. And I think Kirk is absolutely right. Newsom is going to be funded very well. He's a good talker. He can come off as a moderate. He can admit when there's certain things that are crazy. He's a white dude, which does appeal more so, I think, to just independent people, not because we're racist, just because how it is in politics. And so, yeah, I mean, Newsom's going to be he's going to be somebody that's going to run, but I mean, he has to get rid of the whole California elitist thing. I mean, how are you going to win the Rust Belts with, I mean, his approval rating in I don't know what his approval rating is, but it can't be too good. They were saying it was like over 50%, but I mean, that's a very liberal state in California. You would think it would be. At this point, Dems protest for any reason, literally just be ignored without I know, dude, I really don't care about any of these protests. Like, I have zero reaction to, like, a protest like this. You should have seen, like, when I went to this, I was like, there's just no, and there's no way Trump can care about any of this, whether it's happening at Trump Tower or wherever. It's the boy who cried wolf. And the thing is if they came together and did one massive protest, you could get like a spectacle, but they do all these protests every day, and it's just oversaturated, and they're all very small. There's a few hundred people there. Newsom will run a good campaign. JD got to be ready. Well, yeah, I mean, Newsom is a good talker. Vance was on Laura Ingraham. Yeah, Vance hasn't done an interview in a little while, so that doesn't surprise me.
Very clear. He wants to impose tariffs on foreign importers because he wants to bring investment and jobs back to the United States of America. So what I'd say to those business leaders is I think the president has actually been quite clear about what he wants to accomplish: build more in the United States of America, invest more in the United States of America, raise wages for workers in the United States of America, and you don't have to pay these tariffs at all. There is, as the president has said, a recognition that we have to accept, which is that, look, Joe Biden left this economy in a disaster. He ran the highest peacetime deficits we've ever had in this country. He left us with a significant debt crisis. And the president has come in and said, look, we have to accomplish a lot of things simultaneously. We have to bring down inflation, which I think we're making some good progress on. We have to actually ensure critical government services like Social Security and the military function for the American people. And we also have to force businesses to invest more, not overseas, not in Chinese workers, but in American workers.
You think Newsom watches Fox News a lot for opposition research, after a while has started to agree with them, but just can't come out and admit the politics have been terrible? Well, I mean, think about it, Andrew. All of this woke stuff has been a complete failure for Democrats. So you can either double down on it and be wrong, or you have to admit it. Like, because it's such a failure, that's like an 80-20 issue. So Newsom is saying, all right, if it's an 80-20 issue, I'm not even going to try and save face and say, well, but the DEI and it's, the trans, he's saying, okay, we're wrong. And some Democrats won't even do that. They'll still try and fight some of these people, especially the socialists, they still try and fight for the trans stuff and biological men and women's sports, and they say it's not that. But Newsom is like, all right, it's wrong. Because I saw him say several times during his podcast, like certain things, like liberal things, he's like, the pronouns, it's ridiculous. Like, because he knows that's what you have to say if you want to be a relevant, good national politician in the United States. How do you feel about taking the Panama Canal, beneficial or bad for us? Well, I mean, the canal itself, the problem was the surrounding ports that were under Chinese influence. That's already been severed. They had a diplomatic relationship with China. Panama did, the country. So that's already been severed. BlackRock bought both of those ports for $23 billion. So, I mean, we really didn't want it under BlackRock's umbrella. But the whole goal was to get them out. Now, I don't know if Trump's going to do anything with Panama, but the idea was to get the Chinese influence out. Now, I don't know. Maybe they have more ports there, and maybe they're going to have to worry that. Rubio went to Panama. He talked to their government, and he said, listen, this has got to stop. Now, I don't know if he said, we're going to try and take over, but I think they probably did what they wanted to do in terms of limiting Chinese influence surrounding the canal. The Panama Canal is owned by Panama. Because some people said, well, it's owned by China. No, it's owned by Panama. It's the ports surrounding it. Like, that's how China exudes and exercises its soft power, by buying up areas surrounding it. And they had a 2017 diplomatic relationship where Panama recognized Taiwan as basically a part of China. They had a very good relationship. So Trump's like, this has got to stop. So, I mean, Trump did a good thing there, but BlackRock buying it really just put a damper on everything. But, I mean, there was a good, it was moving in the right direction. Because you wanted to limit the Chinese influence. Somebody asked me about the Rays situation. Where will they move? Yeah, it's looking like Orlando or Nashville. I don't know which one. I mean, to me, it makes more sense in Nashville. Orlando is just another Florida vacation spot. I mean, you've got the Magic there. I don't think Orlando's necessarily a great baseball town. I don't think any city in Florida is a good baseball town. They got their way with gay marriage and abortion with the progressive agenda, though in an unconstitutional way, but with the trans stuff and LGBT in schools, they can't get their way. Well, yeah, they tried pushing it further and further. And that's what it started with. There's a great meme on Reddit that was out like 15 or 16 years ago. It was a rhetorical funny thing. It was like a pie chart. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. And it said gay marriage being legal would lead to this, and then had like 5 different things. And one of the things was like literal indoctrination in schools. Another thing was like a pandemic, which happened with, but it's like everything. And then World War III was another thing. And it was like everything happened, but the whole idea of it was like, see, nothing's going to happen with gay marriage being legal. And they just push it further and further and further and further and further. And then they try pushing it even further with the trans stuff, and it didn't work out for them. And so they have to kind of back off of that and go into a different realm. Anything on Polymarket about that? I mean, this ceasefire, it's like, people are saying it's not happening now. I don't know. Trump said today he believes the U.S. will acquire Greenland and continues to offer Canada statehood. Yeah, I mean, the Canada stuff doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, this is the Arctic Circle. This is important stuff. You take Greenland, you have control. And this area is not even, this is not where any of the population of Canada is. This is just if we took the three territories, which that you'd think that would be able to be negotiated. But Trump has not talked about any of the territories. He wants Canada, the entire country. Maybe we could negotiate with them to remove tariffs. I mean, you could negotiate with them possibly to take some of those territories. I don't know, though. That's good control if you can get Greenland, though, man. Yeah, they got to end this swatting, man. This is not good. Luckily, I'm not I don't think I'm big enough for that, knock on wood, for that to happen. But yeah, this is not good. This has been happening a lot with the bigger. I don't know how this dude is just on Twitter. He got swatted. He doesn't even do live streams or anything. Did someone really say the ceasefire is off? I don't know. There's some differing reports. To be honest, the way the news was reported, Putin just said that, it's probably going to happen. He just wants to talk to Trump to make sure the peace deal is in place, I think. Putin doesn't want to agree to a ceasefire until he's on the same page with Trump on the peace deal. We will probably just annex Greenland. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to come to that. Because, like, this cooperation, they're either going to cooperate or we're going to annex them. Well, I guess we'll annex them either way, but... Would you like Kamala if she suddenly backed Trump? Not really. It'd be hilarious. I mean, but no, it's disingenuous. Nobody would think that's real. Maxine Waters is saying Trump wants a civil war. Well, it's always something every other day with that. The mass hysteria against Trump. Well, the deal for Greenland, since they want to be independent, will become a territory or a state or no deal. Well, I mean, I think they're going to be a territory. They're not going to be a state, that's for sure. Australia and Norway hold 62% of Antarctica combined. Australia is close, so it makes sense. They'd hold 42%, but Norway holding 20% makes no sense. Where are you getting those numbers from? That's not. There's no country that's permitted to have land in Antarctica. You can't claim territory in Antarctica. It's based off of a treaty that was signed in like the 60s. But Antarctica doesn't make any sense. There's no way. I wouldn't waste time in Antarctica. Greenland is far more realistic, and Antarctica has a much harsher climate. Greenland, you can work with the coastlines. Thank you for the $1.99. And we got some interesting donations. Canada said today if tariffs go through, they will lose 400,000 jobs. You think Trump is floating 51st state just as basic fact, not trolling anymore? Well, right. Well, that's what we were talking about with Alberta. It's a lifeline. Remember, I said it was going to be a lifeline for Canadians if they do go through with these tariffs. And so at what point does it become realistic for them? Because right now it's still not realistic. Do you support Ginger Lives Matter? I think it's a corrupt operation. It can't be as corrupt as BLM, though, so... Yeah, I support it. I support Ireland. No, Ireland's very liberal. Ireland's more liberal than the UK. It's very sad. Antarctica is split up between many countries. It's not split up at all. There's no territorial ownership in Antarctica. There's bases. There's resource search bases. You can only research on Antarctica. That's a deal that was agreed to, again, back in like the 60s or the 50s or something after World War II, when they were all trying to land grab Antarctica. How's your coins? I mean, we'll take a look at them in a little bit. These people, people want me to talk politics here. You gotta wait for like an hour and a half into it. Am I gonna see Snow White? I don't think so, man. I don't know about that. There'll be clips, I'm sure. There'll be clips clowning it. The treaty is there, but it isn't being followed by the Australian Arctic Territory Administration, by the Australian... Well, I mean, they have research bases then, but there's no land ownership in Antarctica. I don't know. You're saying Australia, but I mean, they're not extracting any resources. It's illegal. I mean, yeah, I mean, but why would Australia be the ones to break that? If anyone, it'd be Trump to break something like that just because he wants to. Is it true that gingers have no souls? Well, I don't know. You would have to, I guess, open up my mind and see. You're right. It's not a stimulus check. It's a reassignment of funds that were, I mean, this is like a refund for us after all the bullshit. I mean, our money was spent on liberal NGOs. So it's a refund for, really, it's a tax rebate for me. It's not like I'm getting $5,000, but I think it's like one per, I'm not sure if it's one per household, someone was saying. Weird. Dude, that girl, Rachel Zegler. Do you like Family Guy, the older episodes? I haven't watched Family Guy in forever, man. I mean, when I was younger, I watched a little of it. It was funny. I haven't watched it in forever. Australia is not doing retaliatory tariffs. Not sure how much detail, but but did they say why? No, I didn't even know Trump was tariffing them. Australia, I mean, he's tariffing everyone though, so it doesn't surprise me. Have you lost confidence in Pam Bondi yet? Well, I mean, there's really nothing we can do about Pam Bondi until she releases this phase 2. There's nothing we can do. Anna Paulina Luna said that, oh, we're waiting on certain things to get, I don't know if they said arrests or what. They said they're waiting on something. I can't sell the coin right now. Because it's like, what am I supposed to do? I want to rotate and get into some of these base coins. I can't do it. You look at the earnings each night, and you could start looking at earning. Yeah, I'm not in stocks right now, though, man. Yeah, you are right about buying stocks after, like, right before they close, because they always open up. I saw a tweet about that. Are we getting the $5,000 Doge checks? I mean, we're gonna have to see. They said they were gonna update it within a week. They're gonna update it. They're gonna have to come. There's gonna have to be something big about swatting. They're gonna have to start putting people in jail. That's the only way. Do you think that the CR will pass in the Senate? Yeah, Schumer endorsed it. It's the same thing as, this is why Massey is against it. It's the same spending that was under Biden during the lame duck period in December. There's no change. So for them to not pass it, it makes no sense. But I think they were worried about Trump being able to possibly do even more with a government shutdown. So they said no. Schumer agreed to pass it. You want updates on the news? I mean, there's... Yeah, what is this? No tax policy under 150K? Let's bump that up a bit. Let's bump that up a little bit. Get it maybe a little bit higher than that. We could do the no tax policy for like under a little bit higher than 150. But yeah, this would be the interesting. And then I wonder if the taxes would go down for the people making under or just over 150, because you don't want to incentivize making less. You know, if somebody's making like 170, it might be more advantageous to make 149. That's where it becomes an issue with something like this. But I mean, I don't even know how they would pay for this. It is true that rich people pay for like 90% of the taxes, so I guess there's ways to do it. Jobs report tomorrow, so hopefully we can get a good pump. Yeah, we got another great news on the inflation. If you saw, let me see. I think I liked this. Core PPI falls to 3.4% lower. So that's lower. The overall inflation is at 2.8, which is lower. Everything is falling, which, I mean, you expect that with a little bit of turmoil in the economy. You're going to have some of this stuff start falling, which eventually will help. Right, no tax under 150K would be dumb. That's like a socialist idea. Well, it's like the idea of taxing people at 90% if they make like 3 million or something. That's not something we would want. It is more of a socialist idea. I mean, it's, you know, not really, but like just the idea of incentivizing people to make less money. Worst case of swatting was in 2017. 2 guys were on COD. One of them dared the other to swat him. No, I haven't heard of that. I never heard of that story. Only poor people get tax returns. Well, it depends how your tax structure is set up. I'm certainly not going to. I'm going to owe a lot, but it's because you might, depending on how much they end up taking out of each of your checks. It just depends. Your FOMO is triggering with the market being down and the indicators being good. Oh yeah. Now this, in 3 months, we're going to be like, I mean, everybody knew this was coming. There's going to be a huge boom. I don't know about, you know, the stock market should get bullish. Crypto, I think, is going to have a blow off top. It just doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of people bearish. I mean, that to me, that's a bottom signal when there's a lot of people bearish, and there's a lot of people. This is not like just 2 or 3 people. Thanks for the entertainment with the live streams, Andrew. I appreciate the 20. No property tax. I agree. Why not do no property tax? No state income. Raise the zero federal rate to 150K. The current is 15K. You would only be taxed on income over 150K. At what rate? Would that when would that kick in? What would the rate be on over 150K though? What is the most liberal country in Europe? Canada. The most liberal country, I mean, I know Ireland is very liberal. Ireland is more liberal than the UK. Your Discord is attacking each other. It's toxic. I don't know about the Discord, man. I'll have to take a look at that and see. Is the Discord bad? I haven't looked at it in a while. Do you think there'll be a government shutdown? No, it's not going to happen. What state am I from? You don't watch me all the time. If you're trolling me, you're trolling me. From Ohio, man. No, I'm not. I'm from Maine. My chat has become woke. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become woke. It consumes you. Russia's the most liberal state, guys. We're not going to have a government shutdown. It's not going to happen. Did you see what Chuck Schumer said? The rodents, the cockroach, as I called them during the campaign. Is crypto coming back? Absolutely. The money, there's going to be heavy money flow into crypto with Trump being bullish on it, into the stock market. This is the short term. It's a little choppiness right now. It's just some choppiness. Socialism is lower class people revolting against the government for ripping them off, only to remain poor, but also be more poor, searching for up yearly. Well, socialism is a neutered version of communism. So that's why it's like these people, most of them are actual communists in the United States, but it's like, I don't want to say most of them, but they love these ideas of social programs and rich people giving their money up. The problem is socialism is funded through rich people, but there's no incentive to become rich with socialism. So it's like they take a capitalist structure and say, look at all of these billionaires. Well, they're billionaires because it's a capitalist society and there's an incentive to become a billionaire. You want to take a capitalist society and make it socialist. Those billionaires will not exist anymore. So that money you're taking, all that tax money, and you're giving to poor people or you're giving to the government, it's not going to exist. There's no incentive for billionaires to be billionaires if you're going to tax them at ridiculously high rates. So it's like the idea of turning America into a more socialist society, the only way you can do that and have money from billionaires is because it's capitalist right now, because otherwise there's no incentive for billionaires to be billionaires because they're just going to be taxed at ridiculous rates. So it's important to understand, but also there's always going to be somebody with power. It's like communism. They realize it with the Soviet Union. There's always going to be elites. Elites will always exist. They always will. And with communism or socialism, it's very hard for you yourself to get out from just being a normie, to even have enough money to retire or to do whatever you want or to do what job you want or to have freedom to move. It's like they want to eliminate elites. Well, that makes it even worse. A socialist or communist government makes it worse and way harder to free yourself of a financial burden. Income tax are theft. Well, they're trying to, that's what they really should be doing. This is the thing with the Trump people. 150K? Like, let's not do that. Let's do the income tax. Let's do the property tax. Really, property tax. If I buy property, it's my property. I'm not paying taxes. If I buy 2 acres, it's mine. I'm not paying taxes on it. That should be the motto. So the billionaires will just be millionaires, boohoo. Yeah, but their money is not going to be going to other people. There won't be any money to give to other people. That's the point. Them being billionaires or millionaires is irrelevant. The point they try and make is just take the billionaires' money. They're not going to exist anymore. So there's going to be no money to take. Do you think Gavin Newsom will be the Dems nominee? I don't know. I know Newsom is going to try real hard, and he's got this podcast, and he's having a lot of Republican people on. It's getting him a lot of press. Any news on RFK? I don't know. Something about he was at Shake Shack or some bullshit. Remember that? He's like at Shake Shack eating these fries. He's like, these are clean fries. This is new ingredients or something with Shake Shack. I don't know. You entered at the dip and then it really dipped. Yeah, that's the problem. Especially if you're in crypto, you're gonna get crushed. If you're catching a falling knife. But I mean, that's what happens. I've done that a lot too. Can you show coins? I'll show coins. Once we get an hour in. Exactly, the money from billionaires just goes into the socialist government, not the poor. People in Russia make $3,000 a year. But even if it went to the poor, it wouldn't be a structure that could be maintained. It's just not. RFK was at Shake Shack eating fries. Show the clip. I showed it yesterday. It was a few days ago. Beef tallow fries. That's what it was. Yeah. Well, we'll go to it then if you want to see it. You can just search up these people. Well, here's another thing.
The Secretary for the Department of Health and Human Services.
Eliminating the exemption that allows harmful chemicals to be in our food.
Shake is freely decided to do. That's not the case.
Oh, I mean, I have a libertarian outlook. People should be able to make their own choices. If you want to eat a donut or seed oils, you should be able to. You should be able to exercise informed choice. You should know what that product is, what's in your food, and what the health impacts are. And that's all we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to incentivize people we're going to incentivize companies to be transparent. And we're going to inform Americans about what's making them sick. Nobody wants to be sick.
I don't want to be sick.
What about when they brought the milkshake out for him or some shit? Where's that? Red 40. His voice sounds really great. Yeah, his voice sounded a little improved there, I'll be honest. They'll applaud Ukrainian Nazis. Yeah, well, they had an epidemic about with the Ukrainian Nazis, and they had to hide it because there was all this support for Ukraine. You were thinking about making an AI song with his voice? With RFK Jr.'s voice? I don't know about that one, man. That one might be a bit... That's a tough sell. Yeah, he wants to demilitarize Ukraine. That's probably going to be a sticking point for Ukraine. Listen, this is what happens in deals, though. They're very hard to work out. It's going to have to be worked out.
Ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all. Aluminum or steel or cars. We're not going to bend. We've been ripped off as a country for many, many years. We've been subjected to costs that we shouldn't be subjected to. In the case of Canada, we're spending $200 billion a year to subsidize Canada. I love Canada. I love the people of Canada. I have many friends in Canada. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, the great. How good is Wayne Gretzky? He's the great one. But we have, I I know many people from Canada that are good friends of mine, but the United States can't subsidize a country for $200 billion a year. We don't need their cars. We don't need their energy. We don't need their lumber. We don't need anything that they give. We do it because we want to be helpful, but it comes a point when you just can't do that. You have to run your own country. And to be honest with you, Canada only works as a state. It doesn't. We don't need anything they have. As a state, it would be one of the great states anyway. This would be the most incredible country visually. If you look at a map, they drew an artificial line right through it between Canada and the US. Just a straight artificial line. Somebody did it a long time ago, many, many decades ago. And makes no sense. It's so perfect as a great and cherished state. Keeping "O Canada," the national anthem. I love it. I think it's great. Keep it. But it'll be for the state, one of our greatest states. Maybe our greatest state. But why should we subsidize another country for $200 billion? It costs us $200 billion a year. And again, we don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We have more than they do. We don't need anything. We don't need their cars. I'd much rather make the cars here. And there's not a thing that we need. Now, there'll be a little disruption, but it won't be very long. But they need us. We really don't need them. And we have to do this. I'm sorry. We have to do this. Yes.
We have to do this. What is he talking about? We have to take Canada? But I mean, why doesn't someone ask him, you understand they're all very liberal, it's going to be a problem in terms of voting? Does anybody in the media ask? Look at this rodent.
Proceed with the bill before us or risk Donald Trump throwing America into the chaos of a shutdown. This, in my view, is no choice at all. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse. For sure, the Republican bill is a terrible option. It is not a clean CR. It is deeply partisan. It doesn't address far too many of this country's needs. But I believe allowing Donald Trump to take even much more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option. And before I explain why, let me be clear about one thing. No one on my side of the aisle wants a government shutdown. Members who support...
I mean, it's the same thing as the December bill, brother. It's an extension. You're asking about the sickle, why it's not seen as the Nazi swastika, because the USSR was with the Allies and they won. The bill is very bad. It's a bill that is a continuation of Biden's bill. Yeah, but there's really no fixing it right now. This is not the actual Trump bill. The Trump bill is going to come later in the year. The idea is just to make sure there's no, economic turmoil if the government shuts down. That's bearish. We don't want that. So yeah, it's not the best bill, but we're trying to just keep the government open at this point. I mean, and like this whole thing where Trump is going to lower the deficit. I mean, maybe if they're able to find stuff in Department of Government Efficiency, but it seems like that's not going to happen. I'll be honest with you guys, but no president does. I mean, the commitment that would take, it would be like even if you were going to do it, it takes time. It just doesn't happen overnight. You just, so, and you would have to cut the entitlements. You would have to cut defense spending. That's what you'd have to cut. So if he's not going to do that, there's no way it's going to, unless they're somehow finding all this stuff in social programs. I mean, they said they saved $100 billion. I don't know how true that is, though. Sure, the Cooper Flag injury. I mean, I saw it. Does anyone know how long is Cooper Flag out for? What if they did drop down to a 2 seed? They dropped him to a 2 seed because he's out. I mean, they're done if he's out. They're done. Can you imagine made in the USA on a lot of consumer goods? Yeah. I mean, but you understand the sacrifice that would be needed to make that happen. because tariffs, I mean, there would be higher prices. That's just the reality of it, at least at the start. But I mean, I think we would all like to see that, but I don't know if people are willing to suffer through it. Democrats are just going to bitch about anything with the economy, no matter what Trump does, in terms of manipulating different factors of it to try and increase domestic production. It's going to create some short-term choppiness within the markets. You thought Massey was good, whatever happened. It's this Israel dynamic, man. It's he doesn't take money from AIPAC. The whole government thing. I mean, this is a whole look at me. He's getting funding now. It's all the Republicans that hate Trump because he's pro-Israel. I mean, it's the same stuff. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. And then they asked me to talk about Trump with Israel. I mean, it's every day. Every day it's the same stuff with Trump. I mean, there's not. He didn't even say anything today about Israel. Vance 2028. It's far too early. Let's see what Vance does here the next years, man. Why would the Democrats want to shut down the economy? Just make it worse for Trump, but they're not going to. Yeah, these activists, you're seeing more videos like this where they're having to be removed. They need to be removed so people can get places. You're not doing anything other than inconveniencing people and annoying people. That might be assault on the car. But Call of Duty World War II, that's a good game, World War II. That's a solid game. I had a 1.5 KD in that game with the PPSH. Bullish on Tectum. I'll have to look at the chart on it. I think it's down. I might that might be a buying opportunity, honestly. Who do you think can compete against Vance? It'd be like Tucker Carlson. Who's your one seeds? Well, right now it would be Auburn, Duke, Houston, Florida right now, but maybe Tennessee or Alabama, but probably Florida. Feel like I've seen that video years ago. Probably they recycle these videos. There's a incentive now with the money you're making, so there's a constant recycling of the same viral videos. It's unfortunate. Thoughts on the Elon tweet? Which one? What, with Netanyahu? Is that you want me to go to? I mean, people are just demanding I go to this tweet. What is this like? What is this Grok 3 thing? He's got that now. Remember when he changed his profile to like the dark MAGA thing? I remember that. Oh, this is just great. This is just beautiful. Oh, man. I love defending this administration. Vivek is most likely to win Ohio, even against Tressel. Well, yeah, if he's got the Trump endorsement and the administration endorsement, he's going to be hard to beat. That's just the reality. Duke's time to win a natty was 2019 when they had the super team. Was that with Zion you're talking about? I think in 2019. They had Zion, RJ Barrett. I mean, yeah, Duke always seems to underperform in the tournament. But they won against Butler back in like 2011. Then they won with Jahlil Okafor in like 2015. Remember Dark Brandon? Yeah, Dark Brandon, I do remember that. Remember the speech that he gave? I don't know why the Democrats decided that. The speech, it's Biden, and then there's like the dark background with the red. He's like, and then he called like white people terrorists. He called like Republicans a white supremacist terrorist or something. Elon is covering his tracks after the salute. Well, the ADL came out and defended him for that too. Did you see that? Are the 76ers toast? Yeah, the 76ers are screwed because Embiid always gets injured. Paul George is like washed at this point. You just gave up on the government not sucking off Israel. It doesn't even bother you. Yeah, I know. Like, what am I supposed to do? I mean, it's blatantly obvious. I mean, there's nothing I can really do. I just trying to really, like, what do people? And then there's this conservative grift now just calling out Trump because he's like in bed with Israel. It's we get it. I mean, every day now we have to see it. I mean, it's gonna have to dissipate at a certain point, you would think. I mean, but I actually don't know if it will because there's this situation with Palestine. And you know Trump is going to be with Israel, and I don't know how that's going to... I mean, it might be a negotiating tactic, what Trump was doing with talking about expelling the Palestinians, but I don't know. Remember Biden's Jeep-only rally? Well, he'd have rallies where there'd be like 10 people, and there's like this circle outline that were with chalk, and it's just like a single seat, and there's like 10 people there. Most votes ever, though. I mean, but it is funny, like the visual of that, and then for him to get like, whatever, 87 million votes. You have Auburn as the #1 overall seed? Yeah, I mean, I would probably agree. They might drop, well... With this Duke injury, they're probably going to stay the #1 overall seed. They'll go to Atlanta. They'll go to Atlanta anyways, because Duke wouldn't pick to go to Atlanta if they were the #1 overall seed. You need to bring back the Roman salute. What, like the O and then the dot, the dash thing? Yeah. I've seen that in other people. We've had almost 10 years of TDS. Nothing will stop it. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of it like back in 2015. That was nice. Because nobody took Trump seriously, but it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Being against Trump for rightfully calling out Israel, but then saying that one issue is going to make you anti-Trump and want Kamala to win is pathetic. Yeah, I mean that's totally ridiculous. I mean, out of all of the issues, you know, obviously Trump is very pro-Israel. He's still. I mean, look at the border crossings; they're basically at nothing. They complain about the border as well. Like, I mean, they don't talk about the border crossings; they talk about the deportations. Well, the deportations cost money. And that's what they're trying to get this bill passed so they can deport these people. They're setting up an entire structure at Guantanamo Bay. We'll see if they're able to do it. Yeah, Empire. That's what it is. The other people didn't do it right, but I think that's queer. Honestly, when people do that, Empire. Yeah, I think it's queer. It's like I don't know, develop your own thing rather than because you know it's the Nazi salute. Can you do an NFL free agency recap video? I'm not gonna be able to do that, man. It's just it wouldn't work for my channel at all to do an NFL free agency video. It just wouldn't get views, and people don't want it. It's politics, it's March Madness, it's stadiums, it's 9/11. Maybe crypto, but probably not. Jordan Peterson really fell off after joining the Daily Wire, not only on the Israel stuff, but general commentary. Well, yeah, he was like trying to talk about Israel. He's like, well, they have higher IQs than everyone. But he goes crazy and blocks people on X, and he can't deal with criticism. And if you can't deal with criticism, it's very hard. You're going to have to stay off the internet then. Because because it does affect people, you know, when you get stuff said about you and things. There has to be you have to disassociate it. there a Roman salute meme coin on Solana? I don't know. I was looking at a bunch of meme coins today. I added some to my watch list. It's pathetic that Elon needs Trump to shill his car now that it's tanking down 40% over the month. And the arguments that it will bounce back because liberals, despite their flaws, are serious. Well, I mean, it's Musk took a big hit. He took a big financial hit being part of this administration. So Trump is trying to repay him in a way. What do you think the biggest move in free agency? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm intrigued to see if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers. But Aaron Rodgers might retire, apparently. Steelers or Giants. Sam Darnold, I guess. I mean, I don't think Sam Darnold's that good. He had one good season. Didn't Peterson go insane? Yeah, because of trolls online. Fuentes wanted Kamala to win over Israel support. Well, when you have you have to understand, he has his own movement. So it's like he views Trump as like, you know, Trump has a lot of the Republican base. Like he wants that base. So he can't really come out and support a Trump. It's always easier to be on like the offense, which is the person in office you don't like. So you get to criticize them rather than be on the defense, which is what at this point I'm doing and some other people are doing, where we have to try to defend Trump. It's always better to be on the offensive. So you've got all these other conservatives switching up and you know, oh, Trump is Israel. He's obsessed. I mean, yeah, obviously he's very Zionist. I mean, the entire administration is. It is what it is. How many people make over 150K? I don't know. What percentage of people do you think do in the United States? How's the Nick Cannon coin? Yeah, well, I don't even think it's on here. Nick Cannon rug pulled. It was a slow rug pull. It's not even on here. Please. I mean, you got to give credit to Please, honestly. This is impressive, man. This is impressive. This is a good looking chart. But I wouldn't buy this. I mean, you're buying at the top. You're buying at the top. Epstein files being swept under the rug. Pam Bondi, so disappointing. I mean, we'll see what happens. Something's going to have to come out. They said they were trying to make an excuse about them needing more time to get all the, I don't know if they were court orders or some bullshit, something in line to be able to do it. And they had to redact a bunch of the victims' names on the files that they got. They said they got 2,000 pages worth of files or something. But you can't believe these people because they've been terrible with a lack of communication. Where are all those influencers dancing with their nothing burger Epstein binders? Yeah, I mean, those influencers, man, they had to have been embarrassed after a little while after seeing that. That's what I said at 3 million. Dude, did I seriously see this coin at 3 million on stream? I don't think I ever saw it at 3 million. I think the first time I looked at it, it was at like 23 million. Imagine I actually saw it at 3. Well, it's unfortunate. I mean, it would only be like a 10x or whatever. 3 million to 36 million. It's like 11.5x or something. See how good I am at math? 3 million to 36 million. That's an 11.5x. Trust me, I know. Wait, no, it's not. It's a 12x. PJ, what's up, man? What's going on? Would you take Israeli lobby cash on the condition that you would have to make pro-Israel content? I'm not interested in taking any cash. I've got no ads. You look, guys, have you ever seen me do a paid advertisement at all? Find me a single video where I've done where I've read off an advertisement. Doesn't exist. Trust me, I've been offered. It's not something I'm interested in. I don't want to do it. It's when we rate, I just don't like the idea of rating something. It's just like shilling. It's Didn't Jordan Peterson get sent to an asylum? Empire, you really dislike him, don't you? Is he your therapist? Wait, is Jordan Peterson a therapist? Eli, what's up, man? Schumer caved to Trump, yeah, I know. Yeah, I added these. I mean, this Department of Government Efficiency, I'm probably not going to buy it just cuz it's at 13 million. It's too high for my liking. And what happened to the chart here? It's a bit too high for my liking. Okay. Dude, Greenland, I thought Greenland was going to pump more. This is sad. This is sad. Trump is talking about owning Greenland. This coin can't even get to 100K. What happened to this coin, man? It's disappointing. He had his license revoked in Canada. Well, that's just woke Canada. They're like, you're too conservative. You can't talk here. You said something bad about minorities or some shit. Tate coin, how much do you own of that, man? You seem like a Tate lover. You're in the real world, I can tell. You like the real world? The Pi 3.14 was disappointing. Yeah, I got out of that. I might have made like $100 or something. I don't know. Mog. Yeah, dude, I think Mog will be good, honestly. I'm getting in this coin called Dog Coin. The most normie coin imaginable. A Mog. We're gonna have to go for a day. Yeah, Mog, this is a good buying zone. This is not Cope. It's a good buying zone for Mog, but look at this. This is the most normie coin ever. 841K. Yeah, this could go to like 3 or 4 billion. I'm not even lying. Imagine this goes like... This is a good setup right here. I mean, it did go to like 20 million already. This is a new coin. This is like Shiba Inu. You made like $50 off the Pi coin. Yeah, I made like $100 off of it because I wanted to rebuy the Greenland coin because there was hype. There was hype with the Greenland coin. I was like, let me get into this again. Let me buy this back. Let me make a good little trade, but it didn't even go up. Wait, this is the rigged election in Romania? Old. Yeah, because they kicked him out. Yeah, there's not going to be a change. There's not going to be a change. We need a decrease. We need a decrease in this. We're not going to get it. May 7th, we're going to get it, I think. May 7th, well, we need a decrease. How do you even know what the best one is? That's confusing. What the best coin? Well, there's a lot of them. You gotta have your own portfolio diversified enough. I've got a pretty nice diversification on my portfolio. Imagine not using dark mode. See, you dark mode elitists. This is a dark mode elitist. These people, I use dark mode for X, and these people, it's not enough. You have to be an elitist. If dark mode is not in everything, there's always going to be a dark mode elitist in the comments that is not happy about it. Thomas Massey is crying. He's crying to APEC. Wait, he's taking a plane trip to Israel? Wow. The whale enters. Sean, what's up? $26. The whale makes an appearance. Oh man. Thomas Massey crying about the bill. He's gonna have to take a plane trip to Israel. They're not happy with him. You never use dark mode? I can't use dark mode on my phone. I don't know what it is because I can barely see it. But on here, I can definitely use it. I like it on here. Dude, I saw a website. They were like, yeah, Doge is just lying about all this shit. I don't know if it's true or not. But there's this website that's like, Doge actually hasn't saved 100 billion. They've only saved 5 billion. They're like, yeah, they're just lying about a bunch of this shit. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Doge. You gotta like Doge. Just say, oh, they saved 100 billion. We don't need to investigate it. We don't need to investigate it. It says it. Eric Trump shilling Ethereum at 2,900 is hilarious. Eric Trump is he has been a real hindrance to crypto. Eric Trump has. Anything he's shilled has gone down pretty significantly. He's like, it's a great time to buy Ethereum. Then it goes down like 20% in like a week. Who's your APAC guy? Well, it's tough because I have two different contacts and I get them confused. I have the Russian contact. I mean, I get money from Russia, and then I have the APAC one. So it's like I get them confused sometimes. You remember when they said 5 billion for a wall was too much? I know. That's what shut down the government in 2018. Remember? They didn't want to give like the extra money that's why Trump couldn't complete the wall his first term, because Trump did say that liberals kind of used it against Trump because Trump said that Mexico was going to pay for it. So like, well, Mexico should pay for it. We're not going to divert government funds to this. And so Trump had to, get some of it built. Dude, these young people, they're obsessed with me going to like tweets. All right, we'll take a look at the tweet. Is it really that ground? Oh man, this grift has got to stop. Come on, bro. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it was all performative. What you're doing is performative. AOC mad at CNN crying about Chuck voting on the CR. She's mad. She's mad at that Schumer said they were going to back it. Well, they probably looked at it and thought, I mean, it is the same exact bill, so why would we not back it? It seems really selfish. I mean, Trump would be able to swing it. Like, originally, Democrats were trying to say, well, they have control of both chambers, but you need 60 senators, not 51. Do any actual MAGA people like Ben Shapiro? He tries to blend himself in with us, like we do not like you, nor I mean he's extremely pro-Israel. He's Jewish. I mean, so there's obviously, I mean, you know, about social issues, he's more conservative, so that's kind of where it comes. But yeah, whenever there was going to be, if there's a big situation with Israel involved, then it's going to show the true colors of the Daily Wire. That's what happened. Do I think that institutional banks in the US will start allowing account holders to deposit, withdraw Bitcoin, Ethereum within the next well, I think people would be very resistant to do that with the banks at all. You know, banks, at least when I tried when I got back into crypto in 2023, like the banks hate crypto. I mean, at some point though, if it gets so mainstream, then they have to adapt to it. But I mean, it got to the point where I had to use an online bank even to deposit in, because even connecting my bank account, my personal bank account to Kraken, they're like, you can't make this deposit into Kraken. It's like, so I have to make an online account, transfer the money from my personal bank account that I have to the online account, and then from the online account to Kraken. It's just outrageous. Because I was talking to people, they're like, yeah, some of these banks they do not want anything to do with crypto at all. Even like depositing your money into like Kraken or fund, you know. Coinbase is the worst place to buy crypto. I do like their interface, but yeah, I never use Coinbase anymore, man. I mean, I do like their interface. That's about it. But a Coinbase is like, I mean, I guess Coinbase Wallet, they've got a bunch of different coins and stuff like that. But in general, I'm not a big fan of it. I haven't been a big fan of it just because they always gave me shit when I first started using crypto back in the 2018, 2017 time period. And people are going to get mad because it's not dark screen. New York is the worst with crypto. Oh, yeah. There are states that are terrible with it. Why does Europe hate crypto so much? Well, it depends. Depends what country. And the funny thing is with Europe, it's the United States that banned a lot of these centralized exchanges like Mexi. I mean, I don't know why those haven't gotten unbanned, but like, in a lot of the European countries, they're still allowed. Because like people would always put their VPN to the European countries because they would allow more exchanges as opposed to the United States, which bans so much shit. What is my opinion on XRP? I mean, I think XRP could go, maybe do a 10x. Do a 10x from here. There are a ton of normies in XRP. Because I saw some videos, I see some videos with people shilling XRP.
That exists leaning on our economy. I mean, let's face it, cars used to be made in America. Why did Michigan's cars move to Canada? To break out of the UAW. I mean, that's just unfair to American workers and American union workers. It's just, you finally have Donald Trump's got their back and is wondering, why are cars made in Canada? Why are we doing all this business in Canada if they're not respectful, if they're not thankful, and they don't want to do it? Imagine a provincial leader, so like the equivalent of a governor, deciding that they're going to attack America and put a 25% increase on energy prices to teach Donald Trump a lesson. I guess what happened? He learned a lesson. We're going to come in and talk, but what should you expect? You should expect...
Who is this retard? Howard Ludnick. He was talking to Ford, the premier from Canada. Here's $2 to stop talking about crypto. What's with the crypto hate? I don't understand the crypto hate. Guys, crypto it's an important asset for young men because we have to be financially free. I mean, that's the only way we'd be financially free. Yeah, you're right. I do talk about crypto a lot. But the thing is I always save crypto for the second half of the stream. The crypto comes in the second half of the stream. I mean, some people like me talking about crypto. I don't know. Crypto is gay. No risk, no reward. Go keep investing into your 401k, man. Have you heard about Trump's letter to Iran? Yeah, I heard about it. I think that's what that Axios article was about his letter, and then they said they didn't get it, but we hope that there's going to be no situation. This is the worst thing that could happen. Israel bombs the nuclear factories, the nuclear development sites of Iran, and Trump backs it. Could you imagine my job if that happens? Let's not have that happen. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Your boomer dad has crypto 2 Bitcoin. That's a decent. That's a good amount. I mean, that should be like 300K, or at least hopefully at the height of the cycle, maybe 400K. Trump is using a strategy with Iran. Yeah, so do I. So do I. He knows that we don't want escalation. He wants a better deal than the one that was signed in 2015 under Obama. What place do you recommend to buy crypto from? Well, I can't. Kraken, Uniswap, Phantom Wallet. That's what I use. How is Fartcoin doing? I saw it was at like 200 million or so, like maybe 300 million. I think it's at 300 million, honestly, man. If China kicks off in Taiwan and Israel kicks off in Iran, that would be the worst. Yeah, that would be horrible. I mean, I'm dreading that China. I'm dreading any China escalation into Taiwan for Trump. I just don't see how it's going to be a winning issue. You know, that creates another situation to where it's a war, and then that would be under Trump's watch. You know, you have to think about these things. Like, that would be the worst. It's like you're holding your breath about that situation. It doesn't bubble up. Maybe I'll try and look up some news, and I don't know if anyone would want a video on that because it's not in the news right now, but just to look up and see if they're planning anything, if they've got any military movement, China that is. Your dad also had Nvidia stock, RIP. Well, I mean, it'll go back up. shill us some coins, you'll drop $200 on my top pick. Well, my top pick for a trade, probably Epstein. I would say Epstein is a decent, is still a good trade, because there's gonna have to be news that comes out about it. It's bottomed. It's at like 100K right now. Tiger Woods dating Don Jr.'s ex-wife. I do remember Don Jr. splitting with his wife. These rich people just all get passed around, the rich people. Taiwan would destroy all of the chip infrastructure if they got invaded. You think they would? Yeah, it would not be good. Nothing coming out about Epstein. Well, dude, there will be something. I can guarantee you there'll be something that comes out. Whether it'll satisfy you or not, I'm sure it probably won't satisfy you. The point is, all we need is hype about it. They're going to say there's something coming out. They can't keep this. They can't keep this. They're going to have to release something. Taiwan could hold out for a while, but would need American support. Yeah. And I think Trump would probably give it to them as long as it's like a pay-for-play thing. That's what Trump's been saying. I mean, that's what happened with Ukraine to a degree, although I'm not even sure if the minerals deal is happening. Does anyone know about the minerals deal with Ukraine? Is Trump just not doing that because he doesn't want to be tied to the region? Or is it happening still? Because when the ceasefire happened, I thought they were going to announce the minerals deal. Zelensky said he wanted to do the minerals deal. It would probably be advantageous for them to do it. Ukraine, that is. See you in Taipei. China will inevitably annex, occupy Taiwan. Hopefully it will happen after the Taiwan Semiconductor Chip Manufacturing Company invest completely 100% moves to... Yeah, I mean, that would be... well, you'd think they would do it before then, so they could have a full control over the semiconductors before we got the production to move to the United States. Your Psy coin is down 72%, stuck with a bag, made money before. Oh, that's like a bigger coin. Yeah, sometimes those bigger coins don't show up on here. I'd have to go to Gecko to look at it. Yeah, I would just hold, dude. I think it's gonna go back up. What happened in Iran? Nothing happened yet, but they're developing a nuclear weapon. They're getting closer and closer. I did a video on it today, so hopefully nothing happens, but they're trying to work out a nuclear deal to basically disarm Iran from making a nuclear weapon because Israel is getting scared. Pui's coin is your ticket to retirement. Well, when you got to be trolling. I wouldn't be buying that right now. I mean, that coin's up. That coin's at 30 million. To get 100x on that coin, or even a 50x, it would be at an outrageous price. Matt Walsh, is he pro-Israel? Really, all those Daily Wire guys are going to be pro-Israel, let's be honest. I hope he offers the minerals deal to Greenland. I know, that's the other thing. Like, how much do we have to invest into Ukraine to get the minerals? Wouldn't it just be better to invest that into Greenland? I want Greenland. Trust me, I made a lot of videos about Greenland. You guys probably know. I really want Trump to get Greenland. I think it'd be good for the United States. And hopefully, like, actually annex it rather than just an economic relationship. How much money is retirement? Well, I mean, you know, for me, it's more of like a double-edged sword. When you're young, you really should. It's really cope just because my portfolio is down, but it's really better to have to work for money and not be. I mean, you want to be like financially secure to the point to where if something happened, you could have a fallback. I guess that's the whole point. It's just a fallback. I mean, you're not retiring at a young age. It makes no sense. Your life would become a bit more meaningless. I mean, look at all these, like, look at Trump. Trump's a billionaire. He's still, this is the most important job. So it's like, but it's more so just to have a fallback safety net in case something happens. I mean, you want like millions to be able to, so you can easily generate money in the stock market. Like if you have millions, you could generate like 100K freely in the stock market. That's basically financial freedom. Check Pulse Chain if you don't want any more Solana scam meme coins. I never used Pulse Chain before personally. I really, the only ones I use is Ethereum, Solana, Base. I used to use BNB, not anymore. With Pancake Swap. Greenland, Canada, and the United States would look so good on a world map. What is like a territorial, like for the United States is territory. Yeah, I tweeted this thing. This is just low effort, but I just find stuff and tweet it. This doesn't include the liberal areas. Well, I mean, there's British Columbia. It doesn't include British Columbia. It's Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Then the 3 territories, Alaska, Greenland. A lot of crypto millionaires will end up getting depressed working when you're young. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because crypto really is like the most useless way to get rich. You're not contributing anything. I mean, again, I hope I do well in crypto, but to be fair, it is a very like useless, shallow way to get rich. It is a form of the stock market, but obviously you can make a lot more on it, and you could lose a lot more. Pulse Chain has been like the single biggest loser this cycle. It's like an Ethereum beta that's just not a win. Yeah, I never used it personally. I mean, I've heard of it a few times. I never used it though. I like Ethereum coins, honestly. Even though Ethereum's been shit. What happened to Ashley St. Clair? She's trying to stay out of the spotlight. After what happened to her. Would you trade Washington State and Oregon for Alberta and Saskatchewan? I'm not interested in giving up U.S. states, honestly. I don't think that we don't need to trade. We just take. You know, but I mean, I know you're like, well, they're more liberal states, and it's like gerrymandering in a sense. Give up liberal states with like 25 electoral votes taken conservative areas of Canada. Take BC. I know, that's what I was thinking. You probably BC would probably have to come as well, but their population isn't that big, so it's not a big problem. Unfortunately, it has a pretty bad user interface. Yeah, so many of those like new crypto sites, exchanges, whatever you want, a lot of them have bad user interfaces. A lot of them do. Do you agree with the tariffs? I mean, some of the tariffs I think are strategical. Some of them I think it's a bit much. But I mean, Trump's my leader, so I mean, I'll support Trump on the tariffs. It's like this new thing to go against Trump. Oh, so it's like, no, I'll support Trump. I'll give it. Trump really has been my only leader. I mean, since I was 15. Like that's actually a leader, man. Like all this other shit with people, oh fuck Trump, and there's all these people that hate Trump now and stuff, even conservative. Fuck that. Especially after that assassination attempt. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that Dominican Republic girl that was on vacation. That's whenever you're outside of the resorts there, it's not good, man. It's always a risk. You got to be very careful. It's a lot of crime. Any of those countries where, I went to Mexico when I was younger, and it's interesting. You drive from the airport, and it's like it's just desert resort, desert resort. And then they have to, because of how hot it is, they got 400 sprinklers to try and keep the grass up and stuff. It's so humid. That was Cancun. Is Japan our greatest ally? Haven't heard anything about tariffs with Japan. It is crazy to think about Japan and you even saying that, considering World War II. And just how far our relationship has come with them. Yeah, I mean, there's the Pacific countries outside of Taiwan. I mean, Trump definitely threatened Taiwan mainly because he wanted the semiconductor investment, and he got it. DG2 stream. There'd be 10 people watching that. I'm not gonna do that. I'd have to get viral or something to do that, man. You can't wait for the Barron president. I mean, come on. No, I haven't even heard Barron speak about politics. You gotta but there are people that were glazing Barron. I saw PBD. He's like, oh, he's so smart. He knows all this and stuff. Barron watches all these political shows. That's what they were saying about Barron. He's the one that got Trump to do all the podcasts. Would you take a trip to Taiwan? Taiwan wouldn't be bad. I mean, you go see different parts of the world. There's nothing wrong with that. It's be an interesting trip. If you sit down with President Trump, what would you talk about or ask him? Well, I'd probably have to think of something really unique and different, but also something that he'd answer. Because if you go too far, you'll immediately get a politician answer where the question gets sidestepped, and then obviously you don't want to ask him things that the media's already asked him 100 times. So you'd have to think about it strategically to try and get something good. You think the Dems are going to move further to the right or to the left? I mean, a lot of them seemingly want to move further to the left, believe it or not. Well, they just want to be more galvanized. But there is going to have to be certain issues where they move to the right, like on the trans stuff, the illegal immigration. I mean, I guess they tried to in 2024, but they tried just not discussing the trans stuff at all during the campaign. And they were like, oh, we have this bill. We were going to invest so much in stopping the illegal immigration. But I mean, in some senses, I think they probably want to be more left-wing. In other senses, they want to be more center. I mean, when you lose an election like that to Trump, the thought is you're going to have to be, the country is more right-wing than they thought. Because Trump won the popular vote as well. I mean, to be fair though, the states were very close. It was not like Trump won Pennsylvania by 7 points. It was still close. Is B3 coin the same base you talk about? No, I'm talking about base chain, not a coin. Thoughts on YouTube, stardom? Are you content or do you want to expand? What do you mean expand to like other social medias? Not really. I don't really see much money in other social medias. Really, I only have a big YouTube channel. Other than that, I barely even have an Instagram. I never had a TikTok. I tried to have a TikTok once and they immediately banned me for, I mean, not even like my content is bad, but TikTok is really, really stingent. They'll ban you for pretty much anything, especially newer accounts. Japan is one of the largest economies in the world, going to be very important. Well, Japan also, you know, whenever Japan gets mentioned, they always talk about the birth crisis they're having there because they don't accept immigrants. But, you know, just like Western countries that are rich, nobody wants to have kids, but they don't accept immigrants. So they're actually dealing with population decline. You thought Rumble was a gold mine? Yeah, what do you guys think about Rumble? You know, the Rumble interface to me is, I can't do it with Rumble. The interface is so bad. The interface when you try and scroll through videos, I think is really bad on Rumble. The thing is, this is the thing, I was offered and I accepted. They said, listen, we're going to give you a badge or whatever. And it like elevated some of my content to post because they wanted like, this was last year and this was for sports. They were like really pushing me like, put your sports content on Rumble, and I understood it because they were trying to diversify, because their entire thing, and I don't know if it's still like this, I know they invested with Barstool and whatever, Barstool puts their content on Rumble now, but they came to me in an email and they said, you know, we'll give you this and we'll get you set up and we'll pump, you know, you'll be able to get views on your videos and stuff, and mainly the sports ones is what they wanted, because I was mainly in sports at the time. And so I started doing it, but it's just really inconsistent. One video will get like 600 views, another video will get 60K. The way the video view counts, it doesn't even make sense. It was like I had 10 views in the first hour, and then the next hour I'd get like 50K views. So it's like the analytics of it, it's very hard for me to use compared to YouTube, to where it's just every minute, it's all tracked like properly. And so that's the thing with Rumble. Did you think inflation was going to be terrible when Biden became president in 2020? Well, when you have stimulus checks where you print money, inflation is going to go up significantly. I mean, they're talking about inflation being bad with what Trump is doing with the 5K, and that's not even printing money. So inflation was always going to be bad. I think what really killed it was the Democrats extending unemployment benefits, which really hurt the economy in terms of jobs and wages, and it hurt. And then also they had that $1.9 trillion like Build Back Better deal that really destroyed inflation as well. But I mean, there was always going to be inflation with people not working. I mean, that's just, and then you give out the stimulus, it's just, and then the thing is, Biden gave out a third stimulus, and that was bigger. I think it was like $2,400 per family or something. Thoughts on Russia-Ukraine ceasefire update? Will Putin and Trump meet in Saudi Arabia? Well, they're gonna have to meet somehow. Putin wants to talk to Trump. Putin's basically saying there's no point in agreeing to a ceasefire if I'm not going to like the peace deal that's presented. So let me understand what the peace deal is going to be. And it seems like Putin has a lot of demands. And I think the big sticking point is going to be demilitarizing Ukraine or not. Obviously, Putin wants that. Ukraine and the West does not. So there's going to have to be something that happens there. There's going to also have to be protections for Ukraine from the West. And Russia is going to have assurances that Ukraine will not join NATO. They want all that, the Donbass region annexed. Next on the line, Iceland. Imagine. I mean, it wouldn't really shock me, honestly, if Trump decided to try and go after Iceland. I don't think he'd get it, but this is a joke. Male practice player tryouts next month. Men in the WNBA. That's a joke. Wait, why is this guy signing things?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. We've had a very, very productive meeting, obviously a very long one too. We know that we're very close partners for many, many years. We want to make sure we continue building on that relationship.
I can't even hear this thing, but he is like signing things. He's like a celebrity or something. Yeah, this is what they're talking about. Basically the same thing as what I had. You leave the liberal areas alone. Leave the liberal areas. Why do new Legos suck so much? They just cost way too much money. The designs are dumbed down. But yeah, the price per piece is up with inflation, and then I don't think they brought it back down. That's what a lot of these companies have been caught doing. They'll raise the price for inflation, but then when inflation comes back down, they won't lower the prices. Odyssey, Rumble are all... Yeah, but Odyssey has a good interface. I mean, I don't use Odyssey, to be honest, but when I've seen Odyssey, they've got an interface that's comparable to YouTube if you look at it. A Democrat can't complain about the debt because if you don't want to cut these certain programs like Social Security, welfare, Medicaid, and the DOD, we're going to be in debt. Well, right. That's what it comes down to. It's entitlements and defense spending. That's it. All of this other stuff is a lot of noise, but that's that's where the federal budget is. So it all needs to be reworked, but you can't touch it. It's political suicide if you touch Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. I mean, defense spending, you could probably cut it and people would be okay with it. Some people would probably be mad, but... Canada cannot handle the tariffs of the trade war, so they will be forced to back down and come to the negotiate. Right, I mean, I thought they were already negotiating. That was the whole thing today where Ludnick met with Ford and they were going to negotiate. They said they're having another meeting. They're going to have to negotiate something. And Trump's going to spin this as a huge win. I'll spin it as a huge win for Trump. Because it will be. I mean, if it's a renegotiation, if it's a better trade deal for us, absolutely. And then you stop the tariffs and the economy improves significantly. Or Trump might want to keep the tariffs. I don't know. If you're talking about taking away taxes and the income tax, you're going to have to generate money somehow. So where's the money coming from? Tariffs, maybe? That was the thought. Are you against supporting Israel financially and militarily as an ally? What would you say to conservative Christians who fully support this? Well, I would say we've wasted $8 trillion in the Middle East. And Trump he's an American first president. It's not this Israel first stuff. So for the United States, our involvement in the Middle East is not worth the information and the intel we get from Israel on the other countries. And also, I think there'd be a lot less animosity. Why the fuck would Iran have anything against us with their people or Afghanistan if we didn't do anything to them? They're going to pick out the most powerful country in the world and perform some terrorist. To me, it's not. I mean, look, even if I was Trump, it's like, the situation in Gaza, this can't continue. So I know people are like, well, Trump's the Zionist. He's saying there needs to be an annexation. But what do you suggest exactly? I mean, these people are ruled by a terrorist organization, literally, not figuratively. Literally. So Trump is just trying to solve it. I mean, but then the other problem with Trump is it's just so blatantly obvious in terms of the foreign aid and stuff. You know, look at Rubio. Rubio is extremely pro-Israel. He's more pro-Israel than Trump. I mean, in this Iran situation is a great example. You know, Israel wanted the United States to get out of that nuclear deal with Iran, and Trump did, and Trump campaigned on it. But you got out of it, and now it's like, I mean, they're slowly developing a nuclear weapon because they got out of it. I mean, Iran is either gonna get rid of their sanctions, which is gonna help them build their economy up, or they're gonna try and develop a nuclear bomb. Now, they say they don't want one, but lots of planes crashing. That's a psyop. They're trying to use some. Remember, Trump called both of those plane crashes DEI, and that's what happened. Does anyone want to debate that those? I mean, you take a look at the pilots. I mean, it is impressive what Trump did there. And then they try and revise it like, well, Trump's evil for saying that. Well, no, he ended up being right. That's what it was. Thoughts on Thomas Massey? It's a charade. It's not needed. It's, you know, he's getting a lot of hype from a lot of these people that don't like Israel. Some of them conservatives. They don't like what Trump's doing with Israel. He's getting a lot of support from them, so it's very easy for him to have this contrarian opinion. And it's a little bit of a grift off of it. But this is a structure to where it's an extension of a bill. It's not even the actual Trump bill yet. So that's why the Democrats agreed to it. It's just like a 3 or 4 month extension, and the big bill will happen later in the year. And Massey wants to stand by certain principles. You look back on the history of him, and there's some things that he's voted on and hasn't voted on. It's just not consistent with him. It's really not. But of course, if you say anything against him, you're paid by AIPAC, and there's that whole thing when, I mean, this is an economy. We're trying to make sure this gets up and running. Trump's plan is working. The inflation is lowering. It's a longer term thing. It's going to take multiple months. But I mean, these people talking about the economy right now, it's irrelevant. We're 2 months into Trump's term. These 2 months are not what Trump's going to be known for. This negotiation, this renegotiated trade deal with Canada to get the United States a better deal, that's going to get the ball rolling. The end of these wars is going to get the ball rolling. The interest rates coming down probably in May. I don't think they're going to lower them in this next meeting, but in May, they're going to lower them. That's all going to get it going. Possibly the Doge dividend. So it's all happening slowly. It's materializing, but there's just so much Trump hate right now, and you know, when I galvanize around Trump, I don't mind doing, you know, but it's like, oh, he's a Zionist, he's obsessed with Israel, and that's all it comes down to with a lot of this. And liberals, obviously, I mean, liberals hate him more than they ever have. I mean, there's constant assassination thoughts, and you know, I just saw another video where this is a teacher. You know what? Let me go to this because this is just a good example. This is a teacher. And this is what it is right now with these people.
Who's going to do it? Who's going to take one for the team and do it? And I'm not going to say what it is, because I know that you know that I know what we're all thinking. Who's going to do it? It can't be me. I'm a dance teacher. I got things to do. But somebody's got to do it. Someone's got to take one for the team.
This is a grown-ass woman, a dance teacher. Trump has broken these people. He's completely broken these people. Remember, this has already happened with these people. They shot him in the ear. They had a clean shot on his head to blow his head off. Were you ever in marching band? I never took any band or anything like that. I played the viola. That's what you're supposed to play in like 3rd grade. Man or woman, yeah, you don't know anymore. But this is an example. This is a professional dance teacher. You're insinuating assassinating the president. This is acceptable behavior. This woman goes on Reddit. She reads all this stuff, killing Trump, Luigi. It's all that. It's all the culture to where assassinations are acceptable now. And it's funneled through Reddit. It's funneled through Blue Sky. And you just hope nothing happens to Trump. Trump's been getting so much hate from these people. Elon's been getting so much hate. It's like you galvanize around these people. This is not... We need to support these people. We need to support Trump right now because this is not good. Trump is dealing with all these trade wars. He caused it, but he's winning these trade wars. That's the point. And the economy, I've laid out the plan that's going to turn the economy around, and it's happening. I laid it out even before the inflation report came out that it was down. Do my parents hate Massey? They don't even know, man. What do you want me to have a press briefing? Oh my goodness, dude. It's the same people. It's the same people with the Fort Knox. The Fort Knox is going to happen when it happens. I can't give a prediction. It's the Epstein. It's the Fort Knox. It's what state do you live in? Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's a good way to put it. You hate the Zionistic elements, but it's just so obvious. That's why that's why they're able to call it out easily. If Trump doesn't bring back mental asylums, he's asking for it at this point. I wonder how that would work. How they'd bring back the asylums. Yeah, there were a ton of asylums that went abandoned because they ended that. You never heard of Massey till a week? Well, Massey's always been anti-Israel, so a lot of people like him for that. I knew who Massey was, but yeah, a lot of people probably didn't know. What do you think ever happened to the Marco Rubio Elon beef? Was it fake news? It doesn't necessarily have to be fake news. They probably had a disagreement on the amount of power that Musk had within the administration, and so it was worked out behind closed doors. You could, if you're a Trump person, you can say, well, there was no real disagreement. But yeah, those type of things. These are grown-ups. They're able to work them out. So it's not a big issue. And this coin is I always see this coin. Just buy $1 of this coin. I don't even understand the purpose of it. If I buy $1 of this coin at 10 million, how am I gonna make any money? I guess it's just a meme, but it's just like Ski Mask Kitten. That's the other one though. That's not the one I saw. Based Turbo. I was looking at this. Yeah, I wonder how well Turbo will do. Maybe Base Turbo will do. I think Turbo's on Coinbase. This thing's sold off. Trump coin, official Trump. Official Trump 2.23 billion. Oh my goodness, Donald. What did you do? What have you done? You've ruined it. You've ruined it. Dude, the liquidity suck. Oh, the liquidity suck of this coin. This is criminal, the liquidity suck of this coin performed. Chart for Fort Knox coin. I can't even find that coin. George Droid. That's your coin, man. You love that coin, don't you? Can you run a 40-yard dash in under 5 seconds? No, I wouldn't be able to do that. I get like 5.25 maybe. Melania coin. Yeah, Melania coin also did. DJ Daniels. I do remember that. All right. Let me put something on here because I got to take a piss really quickly. And that's a big storage little cheek right there. This is true. This is true. This is true right here. Hold on, I go to the bathroom. And Louisville is not going to do well in the tournament. They barely beat Stanford. You need to chill on the sugary drinks. Yeah, I mean, I don't gain much weight though. I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really drink that much. It's not that bad for you, man. It's not many calories. Yeah, the Mike Johnson coin. Probably the most useless coin imaginable. Who the hell buys Mike Johnson coin? I'm not even sure it's active. It's not even active enough. Not even on here. I do remember that coin. Are you gonna try the new Baja Blast? I never went to Taco Bell in my life. Maybe once. I never had it, man. Guys, give me coins recommendation. Yeah, this is a buyer's market. Give me coin recommendations. This is big right now. Give me a coin. I could give you guys some coins, but there's some good coins here. I never look at your comments. I'm sexist. I'd be surprised if there's a female in here, honestly. DG sexist coin. Toshi. Yeah, you are the ultimate. We'll take a look at it. We'll for you. 170 million. Yeah, this thing came down pretty heavily. It had a fake wick. It went to around $1 billion. I mean, this coin will probably do another 25, 30x, if I had to guess. Yeah, it's down a decent amount from its high. What happened to Dogecoin going to $2? I still think it can go to $2. Taco Bell is so good, you're crazy, dude. What is the new generation? The beta generation. You guys love the Taco Bell. Hee hee. Take a look at that for you, man. Yeah, you always got these low runners, man. I'll give you credit for that. You do. You find these low runners. Yeah, and there's a reversal forming too. And there's a reversal forming for you. It's a good buying zone for this coin, not financial advice. How's Greenland coin? Yeah, it's not doing well. It's at $76,000. You'd think it'd be at least at like a few $100K. I mean, come on, bro. Efficiency department. I have it on my watch list actually. Yeah, the department coin. I mean, I don't know what happened to it, man. It got annihilated. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it got trounced. It's not even showing up on here. God damn it. It's at 13 million. It went to 450 million or 440 million. No, 410 million. Because it went to 41 cents. 41 cents down to 1.5 cents. Maybe it goes back up to $1. I don't know. I mean, that's a good buying opportunity. That Bitcoin bull ad is awesome. They do have pretty good ads on here. Bitcoin on base. I like the idea of this, but I can't be buying it. I just don't have the capital to buy it. But it's like you'd think the Bitcoin meme would be I mean, I guess there is the Buttcoin meme as well. What about Elon coin? The best Elon coin is Dog Elon Mars because this was a 2021 coin. It's a freaking wormhole. Yeah, these old coins, they've all got like multiple wormholes. I can't even find it. Doge Jones Industrial Average. Yeah, this is a good buying zone, not financial advice. Doge Jones Industrial Average. There's a new Putin coin. What, because of the news? Impeach Trump. Who's buying this shit? Impeach Trump. A liberal makes this. You were watching Crypto Crow and the data was correct. Whales and institutions have 65,000 BTC over the counter in the last 30 days and a lot of data pointing towards April, May. There's a Zelensky coin. Yeah, that's Zelensky's official coin to try and fund the war. No, I'm kidding. Could a coin possibly go negative? Negative market cap? No, it's not possible. Kim Jong-un coin would be a good buy before Trump meets with him during his second term. Yeah, he is going to meet with him. I don't even know if there is maybe it's Kim. I'm not even sure there is one for Kim. Yeah, I know North Korea like manipulated pump fund and they got like banned or something. Oh, this coin is active. Yeah, this is something. This is something to take a look at. This is a nice $8,000 market cap. There's one sell in the past day. There's 0 buys. Yeah, this is a pump fund coin. How about Baron coin? There's a lot of different ones. I mean, it's kind of like there's too many. There's too many different ones. Man, that is crazy. Sorry about that. Look at that. Oh, that looks bad. And that looks bad. Looks like a failed renovation, like a botched renovation. They had to just put up glass doors. 100x on the Kim Jong-un. Yeah, I mean, 100x is basically nothing. To get 100x, what is that, $1 million? That's 100x. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know why that played so loud. It's like some weird ass music too. Why does our X feed look exactly the same? Well, let me tell you something. My X feed on the computer is a lot different than my phone. A lot different. And I guess it's because it's my actual Depressed Ginger account on my phone. This is like the burner, but even the burner account looks different on my phone. Like I get a different feed. Like it's a lot more political. On here, it's like a lot of sports and shit. I don't know why. Keyboard Cat. Yeah, I've heard of that coin. On base, the one you're talking about on base. Why is Drake projected to be an 11 seed if they're 30-3? Because their schedule has not been. Obviously, they're a mid major, so even being 30-3 with their schedule, they've got like no quad one wins. That's what happens. Yeah, this house is just like they tried to modernize it. It looks terrible. Doesn't even make sense. But even if you were gonna have like a little way, you would have to have like bricks up and an actual real door to fit the house style. It's a COVID-proof house. Yeah, it's a contamination zone. Any excitement for MLB come quick? Dude, you know what happened to MLB? It's all streaming now. Crazy. All of it's streaming. All of the market providers, it's all through streaming. It's all through like FanDuel, and they're keeping the Bally shit. It's really bad. The MLB product is deteriorated because they used to have that deal with Fox. And so it was a good presentation, but now it's just terrible. Yikes, what did Creighton lose? Yeah, Creighton hasn't been that good this year. Your X feed has been trending way more left wing recently. There were a few times when I got some left wingers on mine as well. That might have been a different account though, because I remember like I had to like not recommend it at a certain point. It's like too much of these liberals. Would I rather live in Alaska or Alabama? It's tough because it's such different climate. I mean, I like Alaska's climate more, but that'd be so disconnected from the lower 48. It's hard to say Alaska. I mean, Alaska's beautiful. You know, I really am not interested in living in Alabama, but Alabama is very cheap. Obama's presidential library looks horrible. It looks like one of those Soviet 1960 communist block designs. It's crazy that they went with that. I mean, it's like a meme how bad it is. Imagine watching a baseball game on Apple TV. I know, it's like they're destroying the product by doing this, And maybe it's just old man yells at cloud. If that's what most people want to watch, then I guess I'm just not most people. You did a 16X on the Elon Musk. Oh, with it the spelling wrong coin. Yeah, they have different coins like that. You did a 16X. That's a really good gain, 16X, man. You have to respect gains like that, because you see how it is with my Epstein coin. I was getting excited for like a 3X, and then I round tripped it. You got some libs on your feed. What was that? God, I was trying to find that tweet. But dude, there was a tweet where it showed you how much 1,000 likes costs. It costs $2. So you see all these liberals where they'll have a tweet. The tweet will have legitimately 100K likes, but 120 comments. It's all bot likes. It all is. There's so many bot likes going around with these liberal accounts. So many. Thoughts on March Madness? Will the ratings go up now? I mean, what do you mean? I'm not sure. It's just going to be a normal March Madness, I think. It should have pretty solid ratings like they normally do. Will you do a bracket on Grok, bro? Well, ask the AI model to fill it out. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do some input to be able to do that. Sure. I mean, I have the premium version of it, the 3. Grok 3. Wait, remember there was a 4. Let's see who's front running this coin. Remember when I was in the 3 and I botched it? Man, they're actually front running this coin. I thought it was going to be lower than this. God damn it. Dude, I'm sick of this shit. They actually are front running this coin. I thought I'd be able to scoop it up at 8K. But this is not even coming out for 3 more months. I'm not going to sit in a trade for this long. Thoughts on Obama, Michelle getting a divorce? Yeah, I mean, it's very odd because Barack's going to all these events, and Michelle's not coming. This is like a multi-month thing that's been happening now. Rug pull? Yeah, well, it was a rug pull. They rugged it. That was in hype of the version 3 coming out, but then obviously it's redistributed with other holders. Did you see there's going to be a blood moon? I heard about the blood moon, yeah. Tell me you also have a long-term... Well, I have a long-term portfolio and a trading portfolio. My trading portfolio is really just Solana coins. My long-term portfolio is mainly Ethereum, Base... When did I start? 7:30? All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this live stream. Wait for a Grok. Imagine they're already front running it. You gotta make it, man. Oh, they don't have it. God. Wait, what about DeepSeek? Let me see this, because there's gonna be another DeepSeek thing coming out. Trying to find the actual DeepSeek. I think it's higher than 104. The actual DeepSeek that went to 60 million. Is that it? Is that 104? No, I don't think this is it. No, this wasn't it. But yeah, I mean, DeepSeek will probably make a comeback. 1 more hour? Come on, bro. This was a 2.5 hour stream for me, I think. Around to 2.5 hours. Thoughts on Bannon and Gavin Newsom podcast? I mean, Newsom is trying to have he's trying to get as much views and conservatives on that are, you know, controversial as possible. I never thought he would have Bannon on, so I guess I give him credit for that. But it's all this oh, I'm trying to appear as, you know, more of a moderate Dem. I admit we did stuff wrong, because he is angling to run. That's why he had Charlie Kirk on as well. He also had some other people on that were like Republicans that were questioning the election in 2020 and things like that. Your company started training AI last spring to replace your customer service reps who set up rides for people. Oh yeah, all of that type of stuff. All the customer service stuff with AI. Have you seen the AI agents interacting with each other? And then they use the gibber language. Yeah, I mean, you can, it really feels like, really Neuralink feels like it's going to be a big issue down the line, just in terms of human beings. Like, it's going to change us irreversibly. And in the AI stuff, it seems like it's going to be very bad eventually. I don't know when that's going to be, but there's going to have to be some limits on it. Duke versus North Carolina, who wins tomorrow? I would say Duke, but I don't know about Flag being out. North Carolina's probably in the tournament now. I would say for sure. All right, guys, I'll see ya.